Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we will be starting a new series. This is just going to be a basic Visual Studio C++ kind of tutorial. I actually go to college for computer science, and lately I have been not struggling, but like just looking up tutorials and stuff like that. I'm way more advanced in this than this tutorial will be, but right now what we are going to be doing is going through and just kind of learning the basics. This is not going to be an in-depth tutorial, so don't expect me to go into every feature that Visual Studios has or like why you do certain things. It's just the way the programming language is written and built around. And then yeah, so let's just get right into it. Sorry I haven't been recording though. School has been like a pain and just stressful right now. Like I just need to try a little bit harder and focus on that. And my internet's so slow and upload times just kind of a pain. So this is just gonna be something we do for a little bit. Try it out, just see if this actually gets some views or not. Alright, first what we're gonna do is either you can go file, new, and create your project, or you can just do new project right here. We'll just do it simply. Just start new project. Excuse me. Alright, so then what we do is, since we're doing Visual C++, you can actually download Visual Studios without all this extra crap and only the things that you need. But for what we're doing, Visual C++, and then we're going to do a Windows 32 application. And then we'll just do YouTube, sorry, YouTube, sorry, I just woke up, 1, and then browse. Make sure to save it in a place that you will know where to find it, because it is kind of important if you need to go in later on. Make sure none of these are checked. These just like, you don't even have to worry about that. Just make sure it's not checked. Make sure you know where it's saved. Alright, so push OK. Next, this comes up. It's just going to run how you want to run it. Windows application means like HTML format. You can like actually put it into a Windows kind of setup. Like if you were making a game in Windows, this is how you would do it. Console is the computer's way of knowing how to run it, and that's what we're doing now. So empty project and then uncheck security. That is just you don't even need to know. It's just basic checks. So empty project and then push finish. And then what this is gonna do once this loads is going to, I might have to zoom it in once we go in, because last time I recorded this it was like really zoomed out, you couldn't see much. So we're gonna go to source files here. You can do it up here again, but just do source files, add new item. And then what we are gonna want to do is a .c++ file, so it's .cpp. Usually, just for what we're doing, name it the same thing, exactly the same that you named this video, or this thing. And if you have to change your browsing location again, do it, but it should just be attached on to where you did it last time. So YouTube tutorial 1, add, and make sure it's a .cpp. Yeah, see, we have to zoom in here. Alright, so what we are gonna do, first, at every top of the program, every program at the top, sorry, you are gonna do a, what is called an IPO. That can be in a later tutorial though. That's not really important at this time. Do I need to zoom that in more? Yeah, probably right there. Sorry, the scaling is not that good in the video. Alright, so what we're gonna do is our compiler directives. This is what the compiler actually reads. This whole thing is the compiler, Visual Studios, and then when we run it, which is debug start without debugging, that is the actual compiler running it, compressing it, and actually doing what we programmed to do. So what you need to include is hashtag, so the pound sign include, open or less than, open or greater than, sorry, IO stream. What this does actually makes it so input output of the processor, basically in a sense. And then also what we're gonna do is hashtag include string, and that's all we need for this one. And then this is kind of confusing, just don't worry about it right now. What we're gonna do is use namespace std, and then you have to make sure everything that you do, besides some exceptions, need a semicolon. The semicolon is the key. It ends the line, or it just ends what is happening on this line. So without the semicolon, you're gonna have problems later on. And then next, this area right under, hold on, this is int main. It will work fine if you don't put anything inside these parentheses. What the parentheses mean are parameters that are going being sent in. Int is the data type. So that we're returning an int. This is the return value. This is the parameters that are being sent in. This is all more advanced if you are new to this, so don't worry so much about this right now. But for this case, we're gonna put void in there. Void means we are not sending anything in, and int means we are returning a value. So followed by the function name. That is a function, but we don't see it as a function yet. And then these open and close braces are how we actually keep everything inside this function. If I was not to put these, we can have up to one line. Let's just say, see how, don't worry about what's going on right now. Hello, actually not that. YouTube, don't worry about that. But if we were to put like a second line, it wouldn't work because um, you have to have the braces. But it is a function, so these are actually required. Alright, so then we have that. Since, like I said earlier, it's an int main, int as the data type, you have to return a value. Sorry, this video is going by really quick. Don't worry so much about the details right now. Just kind of follow along. And if you have any questions and you want me to go over anything slower in another episode, please let me know down below. The reason why I'm doing this again is because there's no updated videos. A lot of these beginner videos are for like 5 years ago, 3 years ago. There's some like 3 to 6 months ago, but they're still not that well explained. And I'm not really explaining them. I'm just kind of giving a basic tutorial. And so if you want me to go through and kind of give another basic tutorial for you guys, just don't hesitate to ask. That won't be a problem. So let's really get on in there because I know it's gonna come out bad. Alright, so int main void. So what this does is just our function. Don't worry so much about this. Like I said, the data type is int, and the void is the input. So the parameters being inputted in here, which is nothing. Void means not void in a sense means 0 or nothing. Or let's say void equals none. Alright, so using namespace std, what that does is C++ has a list of libraries in hashtag include string, and IOStream. Those are also separate libraries that people have made and made it accessible for anyone to use those specific libraries. But don't worry about that right now. Using namespace, what this does. So if you saw earlier what I did C out. Sorry. Just do all caps. If you see that, oh, not that one. That one can't be capital. N line, or NL in this case, that is an L, stands for N line. So don't worry too much about that right now. But that's what that end L means, it's N line. So if it's on this line, it's gonna go to the next line. And then the semicolon. Don't forget that semicolon. Just redo this. Should go away. The red squiggle means it's incorrect and not, the compiler doesn't understand it. Alright, so cout, hello YouTube. What that is going to do is going to do hello YouTube, right? And then if we were to run it, start without debugging, that is going to actually output it to the screen. As you can see, hello YouTube, and press any key. If we didn't do the NL, it would just be right here because this compiler actually just does run-ons. So like if I was to do hello YouTube and then down here do a cout, you have to put it in the double quotes because it is a string. Yeah, without the double quotes, it won't be able to initialize or read what's going on. But since we only did NL once, it's just actually just gonna go to the next line. Alright, so that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just how you print to the screen. And then this one, using namespace std, what that does is you would have to do std that I think it's written like this. I don't know. Let's just try it. std I'm kind of blanking right now, so don't really worry about this. This is just how you would do it. Maybe you would have to do it in these though. Let's try that. That should be good. Yep, see it still says hey. This is just so you don't have to do this. Cout or using namespace std gives you a easier access on how to call these. You would have to do that for every single one, and it's just easier to type cout. So let's not worry too much about this. Alright, so next what we are going to do is how to actually declare a variable, where to declare variables, and how to initialize variables. Alright, so right here in the int main, we are going to do, there is all kinds of data types, and you can create your own, but that is way later. Don't even worry about creating your own, because you have to understand how and what and when to use these data types. So if we were to want a number called, if we wanted to select a number, and we'll call it number, it's a whole value, positive or negative. Like, I think the number's like 2 trillion or something like that. Negative 2 trillion to positive 2 trillion, I don't know, whatever your computer can handle. And then so if we do int, that is whole negative or positive numbers. It's just whole numbers, and then number semicolon. You can also actually initialize and declare right in the same line like that, but for this case you are learning, and that's typically not um it's frowned upon from now on. So if we hover over these, as you can see, it's this. If we were to do number later on, if you hover over it, it'll tell you where it's declared or what it's declared as, and then int is a 0, obviously. All right, so int, and then if we wanted to do a, let's say a decimal, you do double tax. I don't know. And then if we want to do a line of code like that we entered in string, let's just do code, and then as you can see, int is blue, double is blue, string is green because it's an actual different thing. Each one has like separate things. And then if we were to do char a, that just stands for character. So actually we'll do a symbol, and then there's other ones, but that's all we're gonna get into. So actually spacing out your code does matter, so it's easier for people, users. You are the user, don't forget that. Not just the users actually using this program, but you are the user yourself, and other people reading your program are users, so you have to make it easy enough for them to actually use it. So if we go right here, push enter, enter, enter. Every time there is a different data type, that's what these are. Ints, a data type, double data type, double data type. Every time there's a different one, you have to put a line between them. So if we put double sales tax rate, they're the same, so they'll be like lined up. But that actually reminds me, you see how these are all single words? When you have more than one word, this is how you actually declare them. So double sales is lowercase. Anything after that is going to be in uppercase for the first letter. This is called camel casing. This is used commonly throughout the C++ language, and it's actually required. So sales is lowercase, and then the first word the first letter of the next word is capital T for tax, and then capital R for the next word. That is actually how you have to program. There are exceptions. Don't get that as like everything must be like that. There are exceptions, but this is how you are taught, and this is how you must learn. And if you also wanted to, under using namespace, these values have the potential to change. Under using namespace is where your constants go. There's other things that go up here, but this is not. This is global variables, and this is local variables. Constants are considered a global variable, and you can actually put variables up here. So if I wanted to just do int number up here, that would work. But since it's a global variable up here, and this is later on, don't even worry about this stuff right now. You just have to know where you have to put them. Anything that you're doing right now has to be in your int main, besides if it's a constant. So let's not even worry about that. So if we want a const, and then we have that symbol, we'll just do the char. Any constants have to be all capitals. So it's just like that. And then if there's a separate word, you're gonna underscore and then hi, or underscore whatever the second word is. But since we're only doing char symbol, that's a character of symbol, then we are going to make that equal to, and then the symbol, and then you put the symbol in single quotes. So we'll just do a star or an asterisk, I think that's what it's called, and then semicolon. Don't forget your semicolon. Semicolon after any statement. These are called statements. There has to be a semicolon. But like I said, just follow along, and if you have any questions, you want me to explain anything in more depth, I can do that. So now we have all these. We don't really need these. What we're gonna do, we're gonna keep. We don't need the char down here anymore because we have symbol as a constant. This is a global variable. It can be used in any functions, but don't worry about that right now. So int number, and then we'll do string message equal, or we'll just do it like that, string message, because it's not a constant. Only declare in the same line if it's constant. Declare and initialize, because it's just easier to read like this. And then we'll do, that's it. We'll just leave it like that right there. So then we're gonna do number equal to 0. You don't need the data type once you're initializing the values because it's already declared. So we'll just do number equals to 0. Right now it's just equal to 0. And then we'll do, like I said, make sure you have the lines separate from each other if they're different statements. Like if it was two strings, you'd put them like on top of each other. But since the number is one and it's int and then a string, don't really worry about the spacing right now. Just make sure everything's separate so you can see and have other people see easily. Alright, so number equals 0, and then message equals in double quotes, because this is a string. Anything in double quotes is going to be read as a string as long as it's declared. So we'll just say hello YouTube. And then semicolon to end the statement. And then so now what we're gonna do is what's called an if-else statement. So if number is less than 5, and then the braces. This is what I was talking about. You don't need the braces, but it's always good to have them because anything enclosed will actually run. But if you don't have the braces, if this executes to true, only the first line right under it will run, and then it's gonna skip the rest. So just don't worry, don't always keep your braces unless there's exceptions. If you don't know the exceptions, then just keep the braces. Alright, so if number is greater than 5, see out, we'll just see out the message. Else number plus plus. What the number plus plus, here, let's put those in braces, sorry. Like I said, they're not required, but you do want them. Alright, so if number is less than 5, see out message, else number plus plus. So if we do this, it should only do it one time. Hello YouTube, yep. See, now if we put number to 6, nothing's gonna happen. But that's why we're not gonna get into loops right now. This is just kind of something I came up right in the time. So now we're gonna do if number is less than hold on. Here, let's do this. If number is less than 5, it's gonna see out the message. So it's see out less than. These are called insertion operators, sorry. And then the other way would be extraction operators. Which, so if I wanted the CN number, we could actually do that right here. But no, we won't do that. Alright, so see out message, and then if it does execute the true, we're gonna do number plus plus right there. So that's gonna increment by 1. So every time this executes the true, number is gonna go up to 1. So this is going above and beyond. You're not gonna know what's going on right here. So while oops, while number is less than 10, and then we're gonna put this whole thing in here. So while the number is less than 10, this is a while loop, and this is just I think it's a post test. I don't remember. It's gonna run, and then while number is less than 10, it's gonna do this if else statement in here. Don't really worry about the while loop right now. This is just kind of a demonstration how it works. So hello YouTube runs 5 times, and then else number plus plus. So actually it would do from number plus plus, would do see out number is less than 5, and yep. Like, oh, I forgot to put the double quotes. You have to make sure you end them statement. Alright, so now I should post that 5 times. or infinity. Oh yeah, because it goes on forever. Duh. Well, wait. Number is less than 10. Oh, because we're not increment anymore. Sorry about that. Number plus plus and semicolon. Alright, debug. So now I should do 5 of each. See, number is less than 5, and hello YouTube. That is because number is less than 5. This comes true, and then it increments by 1. We started at 0. So 0 is going to run, 1 is going to run, 2 is going to run, 3 is going to run, 4 is going to run. But we're not, if we want to do less than equals, you would actually just put the equal sign here. And if you want to do greater than equals, actually, I don't remember. I think it's like that. No, no. I had it right the first time. You just put the equal signs on the right side. And then, so we'll keep it like that. But so it's going to run this 5 times, 0 to 4. And then this is going to run, we have the while loop in here, less than 10. So it's going to be 5 to 9. Because this is, once this reaches 10, it's going to actually go outside the while loop. So this is a while loop is a post test. That, like I said, this is nothing you need to know right now. This is just how you would actually use it. Example how you would use it. And the return 0 is, remember at the int main I said this is an int. You have to return a value, so we're just returning 0 to nothing. But what it actually is doing is returning. But that's nothing like you have to know right now. And then one last thing before we end this episode is comment. You want to comment not everything. Commenting is so the user or anyone looking at your code will actually know what they're looking at, what functions are doing, what statements are doing, what is going on at all times that they can't easily look up themselves. So like this, they would have to go through, look up everything. But if you did, like, these are, what you want to do when you name them is make them actually, these are like too easy. You want to make them complicated enough, sorry, so that people can, you can have actually multiple of these. So int number um four step 1, something like that. I don't know. It depends on what you're working on, but yeah, you want to make them complicated enough so you, like, they're not just int number, because that's so basic, no one knows what that number does. So what you want to do is actually, these aren't, you don't need to comment these because they should be easy enough for the reader or whoever is looking at your code to know what they're doing. So while numbers not that, so you're gonna do this is just two backslashes, yeah, backslashes. Sorry, still tired. 2 backslashes, make it green like this, and then this is just gonna be a comment out. So you comment out your code, or you comment above your code to say what you are doing. And then if I wanted to comment from, don't worry about this right now. If I wanted to do a whole block of code, I did a backslash with an asterisk, and anything past that, because we didn't close it, is gonna run. And then if I did the asterisk and then that, wrong one. Yeah, like that. That's a block code. You have to know the different. This is just a common outline. This is block code, so it's gonna take multiple lines. This is just for if you are like testing something, and you're not completely finished, and it won't run unless you comment out that code. That is why that does that. And then while these are lines of code that people can actually see when they open up your program to give instructions or just know exactly what's going on. So while number is less than 10. It's gonna run, and then you would like determine whether number is less than 5, and then else you don't have to comment, and then you might want to increment the value of number, and then it's kind of the same thing for each, so you don't really have to do this, but you might want to do that. And then if it was more complicated than just a cout message, you'd be like, output the message to the screen. And you have to say to the screen. If you're inputting from the keyboard, which would be in the next tutorial, we would say input from the keyboard. It's kind of self-explanatory, but you know what I'm trying to say. And then we never did anything with this global variable, so usually you wouldn't be able to use this. Like if I did this in the int main, and then I couldn't use it in a different function because it's only local to the int main, but this is a global constant, so I can actually use this anywhere in our program. So if I wanted to then we just go like this, cout symbol and line. So everyone will have just a star between them. Like that, see? It's actually kind of quite easy once you get a hang of it. But if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below. And yeah, this video did kind of seem like all rushed and stuff like that. But I think if we get some feedback, we will be able to. Sorry about the notifications down here. If we get some feedback, we'll be able to like determine how we can make these videos better. Like I said, I already did this video, but it was like sorry, it was like zoomed out all the way back here, and it's hard to see, and I don't know. So I felt like if we zoomed right in, we can get to the point. But yeah, there is a lot more to know before we even get started with a basic program. So what this series is going to contain, I believe, is like just kind of covering the basics, and then after 1 or 2 episodes, we would do not a test, but we'll do like some kind of exercise that you guys can pause the video, check it out, try to figure out the directions yourself, and I'll make up some programs and stuff like that. Pause the video, don't cheat yourself, because if you get stuck, obviously you can play the video and go through it with me. But I feel like these videos need to be, or you actually have to practice to be able to learn these things. So I will give you a set of instructions, and then you will have to determine with the knowledge that you now know how to actually make successful programs run using Visual Studios. This is 2015 version, by the way. So if yours is a different version, you don't see like the exact same things, you just let me know down below, or you can Google it yourself. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of this. Comment down below, and make sure to, I don't know, just practice on your own. That's the best way to learn. And if you guys actually feel like this is something you would want to get into, you can either talk to me, look it up, talk to your counselor at school, and find a path for you, because there's a lot of jobs in this field now, because technology like is the world. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. And this is our save all button. This is our save. You could save this one file, or if you have multiple files in your source files, you just do save all and it saves them all. You can also go file, same as like Microsoft Word and stuff like that. Save all, save YouTube, save as. It's kind of simple once you get a hang of it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and make sure to leave a comment down below. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace.